The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 2 thoughts. This episode is called Sick, and the episode is rated TVMA, and like all videos I've done on this show so far, probably gonna keep happening, but anyway, yeah, this video will have spoilers for the episode and all the ones leading up to it, and I love all these episodes. Let's dive right in. So yeah, I thought this did a really solid job with the following up on, we knew that there was going to have to be some kind of, I am going to nickname them the foodies because they are found in the pantry. Yeah, the foodies and Rick's group were, yeah, they were going to have to deal with each other. Obviously, the foodies are not going to stay in the pantry, and yeah, did not catch their names, but the leader guy, yeah, like from right away, he's like, no, we are staying in, what was it, cell block C? We're not leaving. And he does make sense, the fact that you're here in prison tells me there's nothing for us to go, there's nothing for us out there. And he won't even accept them going to a different cell block. Some prisoners do get very territorial. And yeah, I really love the tension, because there is this thing of, like, on the one hand, when we think, like, this looks like a fairly intense prison, this is not just like, this is not the drunk tank or something, but not everyone in there is necessarily a killer, much less someone who wants to do it again. There is such a thing as, there are people who kill one person and then never ever do it again because they hate it, they hated it. And the senior freaking citizen is always like, I love pharmaceuticals, I'm not a killer, and that's the thing, because, the show's set in the South, American South. Wait, the southern United States, right? Because American South. See, that's what's so confusing. I'm sorry, Americans, but you gotta understand, sometimes we who are not American will mix up the southern United States and the American South. But as far as I understand, the American South is like Mexico. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, drug offenses do get you put away for a long time. Shouldn't, but yeah. So, and the we again see, the elder characters on the show are the ones who really want to try to de-escalate situations, because they have the perspective. They don't have all that fire that us young'uns do. Now, let's see. Yeah, several times they have the discussion, what is going to happen to the foodies. And once okay, you'll get another cell block as long as, what's the word? Yeah, once they head there, for a while, at first, these prisoners are fighting like it's a riot. Rick, I want to say it's Rick who straight up says, no more riot fight BS. This is not going to work. And they keep stabbing like the stomach and such. And fair enough. They've been in there for 10 months. They know very little about the walkers. So yeah. And yeah. That one walker was like handcuffed and snaps his hand off and then attacks with it. I really love how this show keeps delivering these really gnarly, that was, yeah. And it's like, Tiny, I scratch your back, you stab me in the face. That was uncalled for. I guess that was Rick. Anyway, yeah, and they talk and they point out, we can't exactly cut, it's not the leg, we can't just cut off that part. and they discuss it, and you know, the foodie leader takes matters into his own hands. See, he's very problem solving, you know, yeah, it's just, and he looks at them, so what's next on the agenda, you know? But yeah, just stabs and keeps hitting, keep hitting. And as Daryl points out, the look on his face, you know, this is a guy who is entirely too comfortable with this. And yeah, like, he does almost get Rick killed, you know, knocking over a walker onto, you know, and yeah, I know, shit happens, and then, you know, machete to the forehead, just holy crap. And let's see, yeah, and you know, the young guy runs off and ends up surrounded by walkers. We hear him scream. I really appreciate, you know, Rick, like he said, you know, no rules. Yeah, this is, he is genuinely ruthless. Like, he used to have a moderate amount of ruth. It's gone now. And yeah, Shane may have had a little bit more of a negative impact on him than he realized. Let's see, then we have the I think that pretty much, yeah, but by the end, you know, the two survivors do get, of the foodies do get, you know, the cell block that they fought for, and, you know, was a take it or leave it. I really liked a little bit of, you know, the stuff between Rick and Lori, the part where, you know, he's still keeping her at arm's length, but at least he, you know, he touches her shoulder, and then she like leans and you know, puts her face on her shoulder, you know, which is not how you play the world's tiniest violin, but whatever. You know, she is starved for affection, and she does still love him. She does still want it to work out. I like the divorce crack, like, what are we gonna do, you know, it's the post-apocalypse. And let's see, yeah, then we have the right, I thought it was clever, this, you know, the quid pro quo Clarice of, you know, we'll help you find a new cell block, fight you know, fight into it and make sure it's secure in exchange for 50% of your food. And let's see, I think that pretty much, yeah, a lot of great tension with Herschel. I really did, like, the mouth to mouth, I was like, oh no, you know, this is like, holy crap. But yeah, he's okay, and they, you know, they remove the handcuffs and the whole thing. Let's see. Yeah, I like the various discussion of, you know, is he going to be okay? How much should we hold out hope for? Poor Carl. He's really trying to find his place in this group and help out. You know, he's like, oh look, I got you know, medical supplies. Yeah, I killed 2 walkers, you know, and a werewolf. Do not go to cell block A. I had to lock up Dracula. He is not happy. But yeah, you know, understandably, Laurie is, you know, we have now seen Laurie very upset, you know, and yeah, you know, Carl is also, you know, upset by and runs off, you know, yeah, he's still trying to make up for, you know, like, he had no idea that walker would end up killing Dale, but he still feels guilty about it. Let's see. Yeah, Carol being very forward-thinking with the, you know, I'm going to need to do a C-section. Herschel's not going to be able to do it. I liked, I think her name is Emily, you know, dealing with the pants, because, like, no, you know, this is gonna help me. You know, it's this thing of, like, she feels powerless, so she focuses on something she can control. Very psychologically credible. Let's see. Right, the foodie leader also firing the gun. That was also like, okay, wow, this guy is not going to be able to follow these fairly straightforward rules that they're talking about. But yeah, Carol, you know, she has to practice on the body of the, yeah. And when, hold on. When Glenn says, what you're saying is perfectly sane, that's kind of giving, no one dislikes you, Wanda. And someone was definitely watching Carol, and it's one of those things, like, I worry they're gonna get the wrong idea, because Carol probably does not look like she is, yeah, it probably looks really messed up. Well, even more messed up than it is. Let's see, I think that does. Right, I really appreciate it, Rick and the others being very careful not to give away how many are in their group, and certainly not giving away that not everyone in their group is a, grown man who is able to fight. Like, they only show the ones that could that pose a threat to the foodies, it's one of those things of, I believe it's a Sun Tzu thing, Art of War, this thing of, if you know your enemy, you have already won the battle. It's something like that. So they're making sure that the foodies do not know them well enough. Yeah, that, I believe, covers everything that I, yeah. When Rick and Lori are talking, he tells her that he doesn't think she's a bad mother. Considering that they've had sex, does that mean that he's confessing that he does not see himself as a bad mother effer?